What's going on, people? It's your boy Led here, and it's time for another video. Tonight, I'm doing something different. I'm not reacting to no music video. I ain't reacting to no music. I'm reacting to actually another YouTuber's video. Tonight, we're going to react to a WatchMojo video. Now, the reason why I say a WatchMojo video is because I love WatchMojo. The stuff that they put out is incredible. And I found a video on their site, the top 10 Jason Voorhees kills of all time. Now, I'm a huge horror movie junkie. I love everything horror. Probably have about 200 horror movies, and I've seen the Friday the 13th franchise probably 20, 30 times each. It's my favorite of all time. And I'm curious to see what the WatchMojo crew says are the best kills of all time. Because, you know, Jason Voorhees has killed probably 250, 300 people. It's a lot of kills. And there's some really good ones. And I just want to see what the masters of the top 10 have to say about that. But before we begin, please remember to subscribe to my channel. Make sure notifications are on, because I put out content daily for you, the viewers, to enjoy. So with that, let's watch some amazing Jason Voorhees kills. Let's go, guys.
Killing is his business. And business sure is good. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Jason Voorhees kills. For this list.
That was a silly kill, man. That was a party ornament, man. I remember, I believe that was part 6. They're having sex in a van. You know, Jason Voorhees and sex and kids. Not kids, teenagers. It goes hand in hand. Killing teenagers, man, having sex. That's what Jason does best.
We'll be taking a look at the most creative and iconic kills performed by Jason Voorhees in both the Friday the 13th films and crossover films where he appears.
And you weren't invited. Son of a bitch.
However, we'll only be including kills performed by Jason himself. So we won't have any other killers or characters possessed by Jason on this list. In case you haven't guessed, a spoiler alert is definitely in order.
No shit.
Number 10, Corkscrew and Cleaver, Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
4.
Played by Crispin Glover, Jimmy is a socially...
This is one of the most awkward characters in all of the Friday the 13th films. I mean, this guy is trying so hard to get laid, it's not even funny, man. Like, this guy, I wouldn't be surprised if the backstory for this guy was he was a virgin, man. And he gets killed pretty well, man.
Awkward teen who is desperate for some good sex. Unfortunately for him, he accompanies his friends to a weekend getaway at Jason Voorhees' old stomping grounds of Crystal Lake.
Oh, I don't know anybody new. Well, sex is a great way to meet them.
After successfully making love to one half of a pair of gorgeous twins, Jimmy goes downstairs to celebrate with a glass of wine, but is unable
I forgot he did score. You know, props to him.
to find a corkscrew. Luckily, Jason happens to have one and promptly gives Jimmy a hand and a meat cleaver to the face.
Hey, Ted, where the hell's the corkscrew?
One of the...
So, my question in that kill is, okay, so you get a corkscrew in your hand. How are you not showing... I mean, I know it's a movie, but still, realistically, if you get a corkscrew that big in your hand, how are you not screaming? I mean, I know it happens so fast, but still, I don't give a shit, man. If a corkscrew goes through your hand, that was a big corkscrew. That just wasn't one of the turn ones. That was one of the big bottle ones that pull it open. So it's not like it was like a regular corkscrew. That would hurt. And then getting hit in the face with a cleaver? How is he not making any noise? He's being silent the entire time. I mean, come on. You gotta make it at least a little bit more realistic. I mean, this one, part 4, was my favorite Friday the 13th, man. What was your favorite Friday the 13th? Tell me in the comment section below.
Bloodier kills in the film, Jimmy's death is all the more shocking as his sympathetic characterization suggested he may have been the hero of the final chapter.
Jimbo!
Number 9. Garbage can drowning. Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah,
Part 8.
this is great.
Jason takes Manhattan.
Walking corpses are not real.
This guy was a fucking dick. This guy had it coming to him. I was glad he died. It was one of those kills where you're like, you're actually happy that Jason got him.
Authority figures don't usually fare well in the Friday the 13th franchise, and biology teacher Charles McCulloch is no exception.
I'm in charge here.
School is out, McCulloch.
He's more than a little uptight, and using fairly cruel methods to cure his niece Rennie of her aquaphobia. So it's all the more fitting that Mr. McCulloch ends up in his own watery grave, courtesy of Jason Voorhees.
So he first gets thrown out of a window. I don't know how anybody, after getting thrown through a glass window 2 to 3 stories high, is even still awake. You should get passed out from that, especially landing face first into the ground. Like I said, I know it's a movie, but still, come on, man.
McCulloch by the ankles and plunging him headfirst into a sludge-filled garbage can, Jason performs one of his most gruesome and arguably comedic kills. This is also one of a handful of kills where Jason inadvertently deals out his own lethal brand of justice to a more villainous victim.
Better swim, Rennie, before Jason pulls you down.
Number 8.
The cool thing I like about that kill was it sets it up, and you see the rat just hanging there. And you got a dickhead teacher. I mean, drowning has got to be one of the worst deaths in the world. But being drowning in sludge, oh, man, that's... I don't even know, man. It's just... I can't imagine that. Thank God it's over quick. And then this kill coming up, this is one of my favorite. This is from part 8 as well.
Sauna Rock, Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason takes Manhattan.
Nice fight, Julius. Guess I need to work on my left-right-left combo.
You can never let your guard down when Jason's around. After losing a fight to Julius, a boxer who would also have a memorable encounter with Jason in this film, this unnamed victim tries to blow off some steam in the sauna. With the towel over his face obscuring his vision, the boxer assumes it's Julius who enters to join him. He then finds out otherwise when Jason plunges a sauna rock through his chest cavity.
Julius?
This execution was yet another example of the more tongue-in-cheek kills, which had become...
Man, can you imagine that? Just chilling in a sauna. And then all of a sudden you got a hot-ass rock through your abdomen. I mean, props to Jason to be able to hold that shit without burning his hand. I mean, who knows? It's Jason Voorhees, man. He's eternal. He's, you know, he's unkillable. Always comes back. Just the fact that he just shoved that right down there. And, you know, for the 80s, it looked pretty good being able to see how it went deeper and deeper into the chest cavity. I thought it was, man, that is definitely a top 10 kill.
More and more commonplace in the Friday the 13th franchise.
He's undefeated. You know that?
Number 7. Head Spin, Friday the 13th, Part 6. Jason Lives.
You guys, try not to wake the kids.
As the Friday the 13th franchise continued through numerous sequels, there was a noticeable shift in Jason's kills, as they increasingly became the stuff of black comedy instead of dead serious horror.
All right, who's out there?
Black
However,
comedy?
His killing of Sissy in Part 6 served as a reminder of how truly vicious Jason can be. After assuring a frightened girl that there's nothing to
She was reading a magazine that said Men at Play.
fear outside of her cabin, Sissy finds out there is indeed plenty to be afraid of when Jason comes a-knockin'. After yanking her out of a window, Jason twists her head around 180 degrees before tearing it off completely. Mr. Voorhees seems to have
I forgot about that, man. Jason had like this great ability of being able to there's a couple kills where he turns the head and you hear the cracking and the breaking of the neck. And besides just he does sometimes a slow turn and sometimes a fast turn. And with Sissy, he turns it so hard that he rips her head off.
Perfected this move, as he's done it before to a cheeky coroner. Number 6, Eye Pop, Friday the 13th, Part 3.
This is a good one.
This third installment in the Friday the 13th franchise sought to take advantage of 3D tech.
This is the first Jason movie, Friday the 13th film, where Jason gets his iconic mask, just in case none of you knew about that.
Technology, and featured several kills that exploited it to the fullest.
Is everything all right?
This scene, in which the character Rick meets his maker, exemplifies this element. After his car dies and he begins to search the grounds, Rick is caught by Jason and has his head crushed in the serial killer's vice-like grip. Even more grotesque is the fact that Jason squeezes Rick's head with such tremendous force that it causes his left eye to pop out of its socket. An effect which is considerably enhanced by Part 3's use of 3D.
It's funny because if you slow that movie down, it's the 80s, so you can only, I think it was 81, 82, 83, 84, I think 83. You can actually see the eye come out on a piece of string. But you got to really watch for it. But it's kind of funny, the stuff that they did. I mean, back in the 80s, that was pretty damn good, seeing an eye pop out of someone's face. But it's just funny being able to see how they did it when you can actually be like, you know what? Back then, it was badass. Now you're like, it's a little corny.
Number 5, Decapitating Uppercut, Friday the 13th, Part 8.
The first 5. This is the third kill from Part 8. Part 8 is one of my all-time favorite horror movies. I mean, terrible storyline, but the kills are great, and just the fact that Jason actually walks into Manhattan. I mean, how much more scary can it be to see Jason Voorhees in Manhattan? I mean, Manhattan's already scary at night, but to have Jason there, woo, baby.
Jason takes Manhattan.
Operator, this is an emergency. Give me the police.
After arriving in the Big Apple, Jason squares off against amateur boxer Julius in a battle of fisticuffs on a rooftop. In a lengthy sequence that showcases Julius's boxing prowess, Jason absorbs blow after blow to seemingly no effect. After bloodying his own fists and exhausting himself without even managing to knock Jason off his feet, Julius gives a sportsmanlike invitation to Jason to deliver his best shot.
Your best shot.
Unfortunately for Julius, Jason packs plenty of punch in his own right as he delivers an uppercut which knocks Julius's head clean off his shoulders and into a neighboring dumpster.
Is that possible, you think? I mean, is there anybody out there that is so strong that they can uppercut someone's head off with one punch? I doubt it. But honestly, I wouldn't want to fuck with that person.
Number 4, Bedfold, Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll go shower then.
Good. Your hair smells like menthols anyway.
Jason is a master when it comes to using his surroundings to his advantage for his bloody work. When he comes upon the fairly unlikable Trey in bed having a beer, Jason decides to make the most of the scenario. After repeatedly stabbing Trey with his machete and piercing the bed's mattress, Jason displays his supernatural strength by folding the bed and Trey's spine with terrifying ease. This kill.
I was in jaw drop the first time I saw this guy. I remember seeing this movie in the theater, Freddy vs. Jason, and I was in jaw drop to that guy. I think that's the best kill in the entire movie, man. I mean, to be able to bend the mattress and bend someone together just shows how strong Jason is.
Kill is the first of many in Freddy vs. Jason, and serves as an example of Jason's more brutal approach to killing, as opposed to Freddy Krueger's more psychological and sinister methods. It's this contrast that helped set the stage for this clash of horror movie titans. Number 3, Sleeping Bag. Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood.
It's gonna be a cold night tonight.
Really?
One of veteran Jason actor Kane Hodder's personal favorites.
Exactly, Kane Hodder. Kane Hodder is the... Oh, if you guys don't know, Kane Hodder played Jason in Part 7, 8, 9, and Jason X. 4 Jason movies. He's the only... So it was Part 7, Part 8, Jason Goes to Hell, and Jason X. I'm sorry. He's the only person to play Jason more than once. True fact.
This kill from the 7th installment in the Friday the 13th franchise takes full advantage of the camping theme prevalent in the series.
Okay, you big hunk of a man, come and get me.
The New Blood displays Jason's versatility as he uses a variety of weapons to slay his victims.
Dan, what are you doing?
You don't want to know.
But perhaps none is quite as...
That just shows how stupid people back in the 80s slaughter horror movie films were. So, you got a guy with a big-ass machete coming at you, and you think you're going to be safe by just going back in the sleeping bag. Typical horror movie back in the day.
Unique as his method of murdering a camper who tries to hide from him in her sleeping bag. Undeterred, Jason simply picks her and the bag up and slams both into a tree to get the job done. Originally, the scene called for Jason to slam the sleeping bag into the tree several times, but the sequence was shortened.
Several times, yes. In Jason X, there's a simulation kill where he's in a simulation up in space, where they have another kill like this, where he's killing people in the sleeping bag, 2 girls in the sleeping bag, and he hits them multiple times. So I have a feeling that's what they wanted it to be in this video, in this installment. So they put it in Jason X to kind of, fulfill their dream of wanting to have it like that. That's just my flash.
So the film could avoid an X rating. Number 2, Machete to the Face. Friday the 13th, Part 2.
I felt bad for this guy, man. I liked him. He was a good character in Part 2. He was, why do they gotta kill people in the wheelchair, man? I mean, I would have thought this guy would have been the guy who was going to survive the entire movie, but I was wrong.
Although you'd think most killers would show some mercy to the disabled, Jason most certainly does not. Mark is a wheelchair-bound former athlete who hasn't let his disability get to him. But unfortunately, his impressive upper body strength isn't enough to save him when Jason picks up where his mother left off in the original Friday the 13th. Mark ends up on the receiving end of a machete to the face in one of Part 2's most horrifying moments. For the finishing touch, Jason even goes the extra mile with this kill by sending Mark careening down a staircase while still seated in his wheelchair. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Yeah, the paintball one, he throws him so hard he rips off his arm and it slams into a tree. Ooh. Classic.
Number 1, liquid nitrogen.
Oh, yeah.
Jason's first foray into outer space spawned some of his most memorable and...
Before you see this kill, I can see why this is the best kill. This is just insane, man. Ugh, just watch.
And creative kills, chief among them being his murder of scientist Adrian. After waking up from a cryogenic slumber in a fairly unpleasant mood, Jason attacks Adrian and plunges her head first into a vat of liquid nitrogen, which freezes her entire head in a matter of seconds. Despite the icy dip having clearly killed her when he pulls her back out, Jason adds insult to injury by slamming Adrian's frozen face into the countertop and shattering it. Balancing gory shock value with a touch of dark humor, this kill arguably encapsulates the essence of Jason Voorhees.
It's like she's trying to bang for help to grab a hold of him, But they can't hear him. Soundproof lab. Soundproof lab.
Modus operandi. Do you agree with our list?
You know, I agree with a lot of those kills. You know, especially the Sauna Rock kill, the sleeping bag kill, and the nitrogen kill. I can't think of another horror movie that's even close to the kill that has to do with that nitrogen kill. If you know any other horror movie that has a kill that's kind of similar to that, please put it down in the comments section. I need to see it. You know, if you haven't seen the Friday the 13th movies, they're really good. I mean, they're very repetitive, but each one does have a storyline to it, and they're somehow, little by little, connected through them all. So you would really enjoy them. They're about, hour and 20, hour 30 late, 30 minutes each. So you can get them all done in a day if you really want to. But if not, a week, you can get all 10, 11, 12 of them, because you got 1, 2, 3, final chapter, part 5, new beginning, part 6, Jason Lives, part 7, New Blood, part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, part 9, Jason Goes to Hell, part 10, Jason X, Freddy vs. Jason, and then you got the remake that came out in 2008. And there's rumors that another one is coming out, which, me being such a big fan of Jason Voorhees, can't wait. But anyways, thank you so much for being here with me for another video. I appreciate every single one of you that watch these videos. I really do. Please, drop me a like, drop me a comment on this video, and please, subscribe. I'm not going to get anywhere in this world of YouTube without the support from the viewers like you. Stay metal, enjoy your horror movies, and have a great night, guys. I'll see you in the next video.